All right, shalom, shalom. I want to start off by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakakadash, Ma'amath. Yahweh being the name of the Heavenly Father, who the world ignorantly and willingly called God of Jehovah. Bahashim meaning in the name of. Yahweh Shai meaning he who delivers, who the world ignorantly and willingly called JC today. I want to give a double honor to the elders and apostles at Great Millstone who rule well. And another double honor to my elder as well, Ahar One bin Allah of the Lions Den Camp here in Jacksonville, Florida. Salutations to the 144,000 hopeful elect, pushing this truth across the four winds, and to the one-third remnant believers in Yahweh Shem Shah, Shalom, Shalom. It's going to be a quick lesson entitled Discernment, because we in a time period basically where we got to have discernment more than ever, because we're approaching the evil days. The evil days are approaching us fastly, basically. So you got to open your eyes and pay attention, taking heed, making sure that you offending less, making sure that you're not, offending the Heavenly Father, in your actions, in your words and your speech, making sure that we're trying to please the Lord and ensure our seat on that chariot and ensure our salvation, basically. But I'm going to start off in the book of Malachi, chapter 3 and verse 16. Then they that feared the Lord spake often one to another, and the Lord hearkened and heard it. And a book of remembrance was written before him for them that feared the Lord and that thought upon his name. So, right, you got the brothers across the four corners of the earth, basically speaking one to another daily, exalting the name of the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahshua, patiently waiting on the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahshua's mercy, and just basically putting off the form of conversation that we would have in the world. The form of conversation we would have on the world would be women and basketball games and football games and weapons or whatever the case may be. Whatever things, was on your heart when you was in the world. But now we putting those things away, and brothers to get together and we'll talk about the Lord, on what the Lord did for us this week, or how the Lord visited us this week, and the blessings or the signs that he showed us this week. Just like if you was to have 3 wives and they was to get together and talk about you or how much they love you, that's how brothers get together basically to talk about the Lord. Verse 17, and it says, and they shall be mine, saith the Lord of hosts, the Lord of armies. That's what that means. And in that day when I make up my jewels, right, and the Lord is making up his jewels, man. The Lord have he basically been putting brothers in that fire, causing brothers to incline to his words, because now you can see the Spirit of the Lord across the four corners of the earth. You got brothers waking up every Saturday, teaching on the street corners, men with Bibles, and Esau Edom, the so-called white man, he hate to see it. He want to see us stand up with gang banging flags and guns and stuff like that. He want to see us stand on the street corners with bottles and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? That's what they want to see. But you got men waking up to basically teach the gospel and love to do it, in all their heart, man. And that just shows the spirit and power of the Lord, bringing us from being a so-called carnal nigga to being men of the Lord. And it says, and they shall be mine, saith the Lord of hosts, in that day when I make up my jewels, and I will spare them as a man spareth his own son that serveth him, right? And we serving the Lord, and our work not in vain. I believe that's First Peter chapter 2 and verse 16, I believe. But man, our work's not in vain, man. The Lord's going to spare us. He brought us through this rigorous captivity to show us how not to rule the kingdom. And that's why he put this devil Esau over us, and we deserved it. You know what I'm saying? But the Lord is making up his jewels, man. And we shine in this light, like the elder brought out in the camp this Saturday, that the elect shall shine as the brightness of the firmament, and having his wisdom and knowledge and understanding in the spirit, we already shining. And it says, verse 18, then shall ye return and discern between the righteous and the wicked, between him that serveth Yahweh and him that serveth him not, right? So the point is, you got to have discernment. You got to have discernment in this thing between those that serve Yahweh by Shem Yahushua and him that serveth him not. You see what I'm saying? So you're going to watch all things and you're going to pay attention to all things. I'm going to get it one more time. Then shall ye return and discern between the righteous. You're going to discern between the righteous. You're going to be looking at the righteous and you're going to be looking at their actions and their words and seeing what they saying. And discern between the righteous and the wicked. And then you're going to be looking at the wicked 2/3 of our nations, the wicked heathen nations. You know what I'm saying? All those heathens. And Esau, Edom being the so-called white man, you watching their actions as well. You know, and you seeing how the wicked Gentiles of our nation, 2/3 Israelites that want to be Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, they don't want to be Israelites. You know what the Lord called them. You're going to watch their actions because they following after Esau and all his ways. So we discerning between both. We paying attention to you, watching your lips closely as you talk. You know what I'm saying? Seeing if it's going to match up with the thing that you told me 4 years ago. You see what I'm saying? Or whatever the case may be. But it says, then shall ye return to discern between the righteous and the wicked, between him that serveth Yahweh and him that serveth him not. So, right, we watching all things, man. You got to have discernment. You know what I'm saying? You got to have discernment so you could be able to give an answer, be able to give the correct answer, and be able to basically, what's the word that I'm looking for? Make sure that you passing the Lord's test to the best of your ability, because we're not going to pass all of them, man. We're not going to pass all the tests. You know, because we still in this flesh. You know what I'm saying? We still in this flesh, so we're not going to pass all of them. But at the end of the day, man, you want to make sure that you offending less in all things. But, come on, man, I'm going to go to the book of Matthew, chapter 23. And this lesson ain't going to be long. I only had 3 precepts, but they kind of long. Matthew, chapter 23 and verse 3. And it says, verse 1, then spake Yahushua to the multitude and to his disciples, saying, the scribes and the Pharisees sit in Moses' seat. Right, you see those men out there, you know, in purple. Because not all of them wicked, you know, but they following out the wicked rulership that's basically been compromised over the worth $150 million with 501c3 charters. You see what I'm saying? Sitting in Moses' seat. Basically, when people think about an Israelite today, they think about those guys in purple because they everywhere. They everywhere doing chants and marches. You see what I'm saying? But you ask them to break down Revelation 13 and 16, they don't know what it is. You see what I'm saying? You ask them what the name of the Lord is, they're going to tell you JC, Hail Zeus. You know what I'm saying? But they love to act like they righteous man. But it says, verse 3, all therefore whatsoever they bid you observe, that observe and do, but do not after their works, for they say and do not. So, right, man, you got to pay attention to everything. You got to discern between the righteous and the wicked. You see what I'm saying? So you got the wicked 2/3 of our nation that love to sit in Moses' seat, that want to be the top rabbis and all that. Watch what they do. Pay attention to their works and understand what not to be. You see what I'm saying? Then you go to the righteous. You pay attention to the righteous. You know what I'm saying? And they're going to tell you what to be, or you just got to pay attention. You got to be watching the words of their mouth. You know what I'm saying? Watching their actions. You know what I'm saying? All therefore whatsoever they bid you observe, that observe and do, but do not after their works, for they say and do not. So right, when they preaching these scriptures, you gotta watch everything with the spiritual lens. When they teaching these scriptures, you want to listen to the lessons. You know what I'm saying? You want to listen to the lessons. You want to make sure that you studying and getting these precepts. When it comes to their actions, don't do after their actions, because at the end of the day, they in this flesh as well. They're going to go off too because they're in this flesh, just like you going to go off because you in this flesh. So with that being said, I can't follow after nobody. I can only follow after the righteous as far as you giving me this word in these scriptures. But as far as what you do in your personal life, I can't listen to you. You see what I'm saying? Because you might tell me, you might give me some information on why it's important to jump rope every day. Now, everybody in your congregation jump roping every day because, you know what I'm saying, whatever the case may be, trend following. You see what I'm saying? And then now I might do something else that benefit my legs in another way. I'm just going to do that. You see what I'm saying? But I'm not going to basically shoot you down for what you said. I'm not going to go against you and say, no, this and that, blah, 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 this and that. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to make sure that I'm doing what I got to do. So calm, when it's all said and done, what it says, verse 4. For they bind heavy burdens and grievous to be borne, and lays them on men's shoulders, but they themselves will not move them with one of their fingers. All right, they love to boast in the law, the law, the law. This and that, the law this and the law that. You see what I'm saying? When it's all said and done. But at the end of the day, man, you don't wanna be listening to none of the things that they say. You see what I'm saying? Because they not even following after the law. You see what I'm saying? They put it on your shoulders, grievous, and got you trying to walk this certain path, but they not even following it, boasting the law, but got a whole tape up, got a whole lining. You see what I'm saying? And then put that heavy burden on you, saying, man, you can't do this and you can't do that, but you got a whole lining. You see what I'm saying? And I'm gonna bring that up again in the second part, in the next, later on in this precept. So that's why I say you got to discern between the righteous and the wicked. You got to be paying attention to everything that you're saying and doing. But man, it says they won't move them with one finger. They not even keeping the law, man. They loving that money, getting paid off the people, turning the Lord's house into a house of merchandise, man. It says, verse 5, but all their works they do for to be seen of men, they make broad their phylacteries and enlarge the border of their garments and love the uppermost rooms at feasts and chief seats in the synagogues, right? And the bishop was basically speaking on that and camp how they basically got the setup as a IUIC basically got the setup as a Freemason lodge, basically, when you go into their synagogues or whatever the case may be. So that's why you got to be on point and take heed to who you listening to when it's all said or done, because everything that they're doing is to be seen of man, right? So that's why you got to pay attention and discern. You got to have that discernment. You got to pray to the Lord for discernment and pray that he guide your footsteps in a right direction when it's all said and done with. Verse 7, and greetings in the markets, and to be called of man, Rabbi, Rabbi, but be not ye called Rabbi, for one is your master, even Hamashiach, and all ye are brethren. So right, when it's all said and done, man, you got one master, and that's your Hawashai. You see what I'm saying? So you got to have discernment, man. Don't just be doing something just because somebody else doing it. Don't be saying something just because somebody else saying it. You see what I'm saying? Sometimes, like my elder always tell me, it's good to be a mockingbird sometimes. You understand the doctrine, you understand the breakdowns. You know what I'm saying? We teaching the same thing over and over, just like how Noah was. You see what I'm saying? When it comes to the small, tedious things, don't be trying to just be like the next man. You got to be yourself and maintain your own ways before you how about Shem Shah. Because now you just not even being yourself. Now you might as well throw on a purple garment, man. I'm talking to the brothers of the circumcision. You know what I'm saying? Be yourself, man, when it's all said and done. Because you might not physically have on a purple garment, but physically you got it on because you just following and ready to kick a brother out the camp just because he broke something down wrong, or he can't drop a video for 6 months just because he broke something down wrong. Man, you a tyrant, man. You moving like a tyrant. I might unsubscribe from you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Read myself. Listen to Lions Den only. You see what I'm saying? If it come down to it, I'm not finna just sit right here and trend follow, bro. Like, you gotta be on point. You know what I'm saying? Make sure that you have your own relationship with Yahweh Shem Shah, praying to the Lord. And when a brother dropped the video, pay attention to the spirit of that video, the spiritual aspect. Get what you need to get, pull the meat off the bone, and then toss the bone out the window. You know what I'm saying? And apply it to your life. You know what I'm saying? Not listen to the person that you listen to, basically, you putting the bone in your pocket. Now you finna try to spiritually call him Rabbi and be like him. And I see it all the time. I see brothers who would treat a lower brother in the spirit like shit, and then be on all the famous brothers. Shalom, Yahweh Shem Shah Brakatah. You know what I'm saying? Giving hella blessings, but the lowest brother in the truth, you treat him like straight dung, man. You treat him like Meyer in the streets, man. You's a trend follower. You know what I'm saying? You's a trend follower. You's a man worshiper. You got the name of the Lord. Yeah, you give you double honors, but you's a man worshiper. You treat a low brother like crap, but you be all the famous brothers page acting like a groupie. You know what I'm saying? I can't hang around you, man. But man. And that was just that. I'm gonna skip to verse 23, because that's the point. But I decided to read the whole chapter to get the full understanding of it, and that's where verse 1 through 8 came from. But the point really was verse 23. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for ye pay tithes of mint and anise and cumin, and have omitted the weightier matters of the law, judgment, mercy, and faith. These ought ye to have done, and not to leave the other undone. So right, when it's all said and done, they'll take the big things of the law. They'll take the big things of the law and they'll try to establish that, but the small things, you see what I'm saying? Let me get it again. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for ye pay tithes of mint and anise and cumin, and have omitted the weightier matters of the law, judgment, mercy, and faith. These ought ye to have done, and not to leave the other undone. Ye blind guides, which strain at a gnat and swallow a camel. So right, you strain at a gnat, you will take the smallest thing and try to make it the biggest thing, and the biggest thing, you try to act like swallowing a camel is easier than getting a gnat out your face, basically. You know what I'm saying? You sit right here and rebuke a man for having a lining, right? But then you would tell a man just because he got $40, he can go and go buy a woman with a legion of demons. She got a legion of demons on her. You see what I'm saying? You done lay with her now. You got anxiety. You depressed. You're crying. You're going through it. You're broke. You don't feel like going to work. Unmotivated. Lack of faith. You did it. You see what I'm saying? Lack of faith. You know what I'm saying? Now you crying to the Lord to ask the Lord to take the spirit from you until you get $40 again. You see what I'm saying? And then you'll go get on a video and rebuke a man for having a lining, man. Come on now. You got on a spiritual garment spiritually. You see what I'm saying? You got a spiritual garment. I'm watching you just like you watching me. It's three fingers pointing at me. I'm watching you. You watching me. You see what I'm saying? You got on a purple garment spiritually, man. You see what I'm saying? That way you got to discern between the righteous and the wicked. You know what I'm saying? Ye blind guides which strain at a gnat and swallow a camel. You'll swallow a whole camel. You know what I'm saying? Act like you got a whole big log in your eye of unrighteousness. And you trying to pull that little splinter out your brother's eye that you see poking out the corner. You trying to pull that out, basically. You know what I'm saying? That's why you got to be on your P's and Q's when it's all said and done, man, because it's a lot of Israelites out here, man. There's a lot of people with the name of the Lord, but it's all about the inner man when it's all said and done. You got prophets out there. I believe the prophets out there ain't getting no views. You see what I'm saying? Ain't in a top seats of the synagogues. You see what I'm saying? With long dreads or whatever the case may be, and trying to basically stand on the law but not keeping the law themselves, man. You know what I'm saying? Even in the circumcision. You know what I'm saying? Just like me, I hate doing a video on people or rebuking people without just saying something that I did in the video. I feel like if I can say something about somebody, I got to say something that I did. You know, my brother take that, he'll listen to that minute of me telling everything that I did, and he'll do a whole lesson on that instead of the whole, basically the meat or the point that I was trying to get across in the scripture, or basically get mad about the harsh words that I'm using, and basically get on that and then go do the same thing to somebody else, man. Like, I can't hang around you. You know what I'm saying? It says, ye blind guides which strain at a gnat and swallow a camel. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for ye make clean the outside of the cups. Salakia, it's a truck passing by. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for ye may clean the outside of the cup and of the platter, but within they are full of extortion and excess. Right, and you see that, man. IUIC to a T, and all these other camps, you got to pay $500 just to come to the Passover. I was talking to a woman in IUIC like 2 years ago, and she was telling me how she had to get her son a garment for both of her sons a garment for the $250 a piece. Then she had to pay for the Passover tickets. You got to do all this just to come to the Passover, man. You know, our Passover Lions Den brothers, just every brother chip in there, bring something, and then we spiritually do the Passover. It's all about Yahushua. But everybody else, man, all these other wayward camps, they want to be seen of man. They're not doing this. They're doing it for money, man. They're doing it to be seen for money, or renting out big coliseums owned by Esau Edom. You see what I'm saying? Taking up all this parking, causing all this traffic in the streets. You see what I'm saying? Just to go give the wrong sacrifice like Cain when it's all said and done with, man. Thou blind Pharisee, cleanse first that which is within the cup and platter, Salaki and platter, that the outside of them may be clean also. So right, that's just what it is, man. Clean the outside of the cup and the inside of the cup. You see what I'm saying? You don't want to go to your neighbor's house and the outside of the cup looking all clean, but when you go and drink out the cup, it smell like spaghetti and all type of stuff, and it smell like stuff that, you know what I'm saying? Like, dang, bro, did you clean this cup before you gave it to me? You know what I'm saying? And that's just what it is, man. You got to pay attention, bro. If you're going to establish it, establish it. Stand on all of it. You see what I'm saying? Don't just stand on something and then, you know what I'm saying, when you got $40, you'll run in and lay with a legion of demons, 7,000 of them, and thinking they ain't going to hop on you. Just, I had to get it off somehow. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that it's, you know, a problem for a brother to deal with a woman. Just pay attention, because these women, man, they got demons on them. Trying to tell you, you lay with one, now next thing you know, you just don't feel like going to work. You don't feel like going to work. We fighting a spiritual battle. You got to put on the whole armor of Yahweh Bashim Yahshua. And I'm talking to myself first and foremost, because I didn't dealt with it. I'm talking about 2016. 2016, I'm just out here. You see what I'm saying? Wondering why I'm depressed and got all type of anxiety. And I just had a spirit of argumentative spirit on me. A female say something to me, I'm ready to just argue like Charleston White. You know what I'm saying? I was on some Charleston White, you know what I'm saying? Just arguing. And it was because of all them demons that I was dealing with, all them women that I was just dealing with. You see what I'm saying? Just because. You see what I'm saying? Just go ahead and go get you the one that got some morals that ain't got it for sale. She may be at the McDonald's window. She may be at the you know what I'm saying, at work somewhere, the Walmart line or whatever the case may be. I'd rather deal with them before I deal with a woman with a wig. You know what I'm saying? A demon that got it for sale, man. You know what I'm saying? And now I'm going through it spiritually. And then my big brother and basically my elder then told me it's all right, just go ahead. You see what I'm saying? The shit that come behind it don't matter. It don't matter. You know what I'm saying? You got 40. But they ain't gonna rebuke a nigga with a lining. Come on, man. Get from around me with that, man. I ain't trying. It is what it is, man. But come on, man. Let's see. And this lesson ain't basically towards nobody. It's just on my spirit, man. What scripture was? I'm at verse 27. I'm going to verse 28. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for ye are like also whited sepulchres, which indeed appear beautiful outward, but within full of dead man's bones and full of all uncleanness. Right, and that's just what they be, man. They try to establish the law, make you stand on the law, got you at camp in your little purple garment, your fringes. You see what I'm saying? Teach you everything but the scriptures. You go to they sit downs. They teaching you how to do police activity, takedowns and grapples and all type of things. You see what I'm saying? That way you got to pay attention. You got to watch who you talking to and dealing with when it comes to the truth, and just pray to the Lord when it's all said and done. I say the same prayer. Lord, if it ain't for me, swiftly and speedily take it from me. And if it's for me, cause it to stick to me like glue. Plain and simple. And then he gonna let me know what it is or what it ain't when it's all said and done with. But it says, yeah, they full of dead man's bone, man. When it's all said and done. I tell you to stand on this, but go lay with a dead thing. A walking corpse. You see what I'm saying? They be walking corpse more abominable and odious than the heathen. You see what I'm saying? Tell you could do this and that, but tell you can't do this and that. Come on, man. What is it? Stand on it all. Let's just stand on it to the best of our ability, that is. You see what I'm saying? But verse 28, even so ye also outwardly appear righteous unto man, but within are full of hypocrisy and iniquity. Right, that's just what it is. Be on the top brothers comment boards, dropping your precepts after I just seen you with my own two eyes treat a brother like straight Myers, treat a brother like straight crap. You know what I'm saying? Just because he was lowly, you see what I'm saying? But he served the Lord. He served the Lord. You treat him like straight crap, right? But then you go and get on the famous brother page and be a damn groupie, a Hebrew groupie. That's what you is. You see what I'm saying? And this message ain't to nobody specific. I'm just saying, that's just what it is. And you be Hebrew groupies, man. Got the name, got the Hebrew name, got all the damn stones. You see what I'm saying? Got all the stones and all the rings on. You see what I'm saying? You call on the name of the Lord, but then you be a whole hypocrite. You're not applying the scriptures. You treat a brother like crap, man. You's a trend follower. I don't want to be around you. I can hear Gideon right now telling your ass to turn around and go home. You see what I'm saying? Because you ain't for it, man. You just on the internet typing, and you know what I'm saying? Anybody can do that, man. Apply it. When it's all said and done with, you gotta apply it, man. You know what I'm saying? Hebrews chapter 5 and verse 14. I'm gonna just start at verse 1. For every high priest taken from among men is ordained for men, for is ordained for men and things pertaining to Yahweh. So right, Yahweh knew us before. Yahweh knew us when we was in the room. Before we was in the room, he sent us down here and he gave us a charge and told us to keep it and made us walk in the ways which he wanted us to walk. You see what I'm saying? For his men, to wake up his sons and wake up his daughters. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever the case may be. You see what I'm saying? Pertaining to Yahweh, that he may offer both gifts and sacrifices for sins. All right, we sent down here to present our bodies as a living sacrifice. You know what I'm saying? Offer up them sacrifices for the things that we was doing in our past life and pray that the Lord have mercy on us. So you got to walk a certain walk. You got to discern between the righteous and the wicked. Pay attention to what they saying. You know what I'm saying? Take heed to it and then pray to the Lord and ask him, all right, so what you want me to do, Lord? You see what I'm saying? What you need me to do? If you need me to do it exactly how he did it, then cause my feet to walk and do exactly how he did it. If you need me to do it is 50% how he did it, but then you add your own spin to it, then that's just what it's going to be. You see what I'm saying? When it's all said and done with. You know what I'm saying? But verse 2. Who can have compassion on the ignorant and on them that are out of the way? For that he himself also is compassed with infirmity. And by reason hereof ye ought, as for the people, so also for himself, to offer for sins. So right, at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, man, we walking in the same state as Yahushua. Yahushua, he had to go through it basically when he was in the flesh as well. And he basically was the author. He was the author when it came down to it, man. He showed us how to do it. So we got to do it after him. And even the righteous that was walking with him, they was going off sometimes, arguing with him. You got Peter and John arguing and stuff like that. I believe it was Peter and John going through it on some jealousy, envy, you know what I'm saying, arguing. You had the disciples mad because there was other camps out there teaching and rebuking people because they had that whole, I call it, that's my daddy spirit. You know how your two children be arguing, one pulling at your leg? That's my daddy. You know, brothers in the truth be having that spirit, man. You got 144 wives, one wife want to be the top wife and this and that and try to get everybody to have their same hair as her today or have they rings the same. You got to have a ring on each finger. You know what I'm saying? And you got to have exactly 3 necklaces on. You want you to be like her. You know what I'm saying? Type just that spirit, spiritually, for the brothers that understand what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? Most people ain't going to understand. And who cares? You know what I'm saying? When it's all said and done with. But it says, in verse 4, and no man taketh this honor unto himself, but he that is called of Yahweh, as for Aaron. So also Hamashiach glorified not himself to be made an high priest, but he that said unto him, thou art my son, today have I begotten thee. So right, it's all according to Yahweh. Yahweh, he set the chess pieces where he want to set them at. You see what I'm saying? And he gonna cause you to go through this walk how he calls you to go through this walk. Because the Lord might show you something in a dream, and a vision might give you 4 signs before he give you the dream. And then next thing you know, you trying to explain to a brother what happened. He might not even understand. I remember probably a year ago, I think it was a holy day. I don't remember which holy day it was, but I was just getting off the highway. I was listening to a brother video. I looked at my clock. It was 3:33, and I saw 3 deers in a place that they not even supposed to be at. You know what I'm saying? You know, the deers usually be in the trees, but the deers down there on the highway where it ain't no, it's tree. They had to hop this corridor. I don't know how to say it, or something, a big cement block. They had to hop those to come over there to eat the grass on the other side. I believe they was eating grass, but I remember it was 3:33 and it was 3 deers. And I just kept it to myself because if I sit right here and say it, you might not understand it. And that's just how it be with brothers. I ain't even understand it. I just know I saw 3 deers at 3:33 and I was listening to a brother video. I forgot what the video was, and I was just getting off the Buckman Bridge. You know what I'm saying? But man, when it's all said and done, Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai ordained the footsteps of man. You see what I'm saying? So we ought to walk his walk how he wants us to walk, not according to what a carnal man next to you might, you know what I'm saying? You got to walk your walk the same way. You see what I'm saying? So verse 5 again. So also Hamashiach glorified not himself to be made a high priest, but he that said unto him, Thou art my son, today have I begotten thee. As he said also in another place, Thou art a priest forever after the order of Melchizedek. So right, the Lord had made us kings and priests when it's all said and done, man. So, you know, the Lord set us here to be what he need us to be. And, you know, sometimes it ain't going to feel good, at the, you know, because the flesh warring against the spirit. Sometimes it ain't going to feel good, but at the end of the day, we still got a job to get done, man, when it's all said and done. Verse 7, who in the days of his flesh, when he had offered up prayers and supplications with strong crying and tears unto him that was able to save him from death, and was heard in that he feared. That remind me of that scripture in Daniel. I believe he says, since the day that you basically inclined your heart to serve me, I was with thee. And that remind me when I first repented and actually start walking in the walk of Yahweh Shem Shah every day. You know, you get them little signs that come to your phone. Spend a minute with God. And I'll listen to some wicked music. You know what I'm saying? Some drill music, the beat get you turned to have you want to, you know what I'm saying, fight. And I was listening to that. And as I'm get the message to my phone, I said, man, let me play some more suitable music. You know, because I haven't been that back then. I wasn't reading. So I was like, I haven't been giving the Lord no time at all. So let me and right when I said that, it was a car in my blind spot, and I had just got that car, so I had to switch to the lane that the car was in. So I'm listening to the music that's getting me turned. I was gonna just switch to the lane. I didn't see the car in my blind spot, so I took that second. I was looking at the message that popped at the top of my phone, and I was looking for some old music to listen to. And back then, you know, I was in the world, so it was that Kanye West Christian church, you know, music back then. But when I listened to the song, it was the simple fact that when I got to my destination, by the time I got to my destination, I was crying so much. But before then, I seen the car. Right when I picked the song, I seen the car in my blind spot. So I would have wrecked my car that the Lord just gave me. You see what I'm saying? But me taking that minute to, all right, let me just boom. About time I got to my destination, I was crying so much. And then that's when I started actually seeking for the Lord. You know what I'm saying? And I started actually walking he led me to the elders and apostles. He led me to the brothers first, not the elders and apostles. And then I basically started walking in the ways every day. Every day has been a constant. Keep walking, keep fighting, keep pulling that brick. Every day. You see what I'm saying? When it's all said and done with, man. And that's what this scripture reminded me of when I read it the first time. That moment. You see what I'm saying? Verse 8. So he were a son, yet learned he obedience by the things which he suffered. Right? We is all in the world. Just like Yahweh, you know what I'm saying? King Solomon, Adam, Melchizedek, Isaac. You know what I'm saying? We is all in the world. You see what I'm saying? We are suffering through sin, basically. We are suffering because of what it says. Not wherewithal would a young man cleanse his way, but wherefore doth a young man complain for the punishment of his sin, basically. We was all going through it. And through that, Lord bringing that belt on us time and time again, we learned to, all right, I ain't going to do that. I ain't going to do this. I'm going to do this way. And I'm going to make sure that I'm pleasing the Lord. Verse 9, and being made perfect, he became the author of eternal salvation unto all them that obey him. So, right, we all following after Yahweh when it's all said and done, man. You know, we all reading the accounts of the prophets, and we all, you know what I'm saying, reading them red letters and making sure that we pay attention to the spirit of Yahweh. You know what I'm saying? Because he might need you to do something. It might not be the same thing that he asked Isaiah to do. It might not be the same thing that he asked Job to do, or the same thing that he asked Hosea to do, or Jonah to do. It ain't going to be the same thing. It might not be. It may be. You see what I'm saying? Just all depending on them. And it says, verse 10, called of Yahweh and high priest after the order of Melchizedek, of whom we have many things to say and hard to be uttered, seeing ye are dull of hearing. For the time ye ought to be teachers, ye have need the one teach you again, which be the first principles of the oracles of Yahweh, and are become such as have need of milk and not of strong meat. So right, sometimes you gotta resort back to that milk, you know, the easy things of the scripture. You know, you gotta go back and read the whole Psalms again. You gotta go back and read the whole Proverbs again, get that wisdom, knowledge, understanding. You know what I'm saying? Then you got to go back to the breakdowns. And then after so much breakdowns, you got to go back to that milk again. You see what I'm saying? Because you might listen to all these breakdowns and get puffed up in knowledge, or just, you know what I'm saying, searching deeper and deeper and deeper. You know what I'm saying? Now your head hurt. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever case may be. Go back to the easy things and just read the scriptures. Read the milk. For everyone that useth milk is unskillful in the word of righteousness, for he is a babe. But strong meat belongeth to them that are full of age, Salakia, that are of full age, even those by reason of use have their senses exercised to discern both good and evil. So right, that was the point, man. Discern both good and evil. Understand what the righteous telling you, and then look at their actions. And you know what I'm saying? I look at my elder actions, and I view him as an elder, man. The elder Harwan of the Lions Den camp. If he tell me something, if he tell me 722 BC, it's 722 BC. Plain and simple. I understand what he's telling me. I know he's not finna tell me nothing to just go off, because his whole goal is to push us towards Yahweh Shem Shah. You have a whole other brother, you know what I'm saying, that'll tell you that the name of the Lord is not Yahushua, and they call him no Jesus Christos, Hail Zeus. And knowing that JC, Jesus means Hail Zeus, but they still gonna call upon that name. You see what I'm saying? Because it's all about that 501c3 charter. So you got to pay attention to them. You got to watch them. You got to stay away from them. You see what I'm saying? You have another brother that's in the flesh like you is. You know what I'm saying? He'll tell you that you go ahead, go hit that demon, that legion of demon. You got the 40. You got to get it off somehow. You got to get it off somehow, some way. Conquer yourself, man. How about that? You see what I'm saying? You got to get it off somehow, some way. Then next thing you know, you right here depressed, going through it, anxiety, just want to argue for no reason. Out here acting like Charleston White, going through it in the spirit. You see what I'm saying? Because you listen to your brother that's in the flesh. He got to go through it just like you got to go through it. We all going through it. So at the end of the day, you got to have discernment and praise to Yahweh Shem Shah in all things and everything. Seek counsel. You know what I'm saying? And I pray to the Lord every time before I do anything, which I be doing some dumb stuff sometimes. But you know what I'm saying? You got to get better in it. You got to walk in that obedience. You got to constantly pray to the Lord and keep that obedience on you, so he's either gonna bring that obedience on you, or he gonna bring that belt. That belt can be anything. That belt can be that spirit of anxiety, a plague of the mind. You know what I'm saying? That belt can be you just going through it all week because of your own sins, man. You know what I'm saying? Ready to fight and argue and all type of things, man. Just you got to pay attention to the spirit of the Lord, man. Use that discernment, man. I pray this lesson was edifying to reach who is meant to reach. You know what I'm saying? I pray that this lesson uplifts you and cause you to see both sides of the spectrum, and then pick the right answer, pick the right way, because everything could be a test, man. But I just, pray that the Lord lead us and guide us, all the brothers, that call on his name in truth and sincerity, that love him and understand, us, understand each other, understand yourself, man. I pray that the Lord keep that spirit on us, man. With that, I'm going to say shalom.